My dear students, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will be explaining the B.Ed 4th semester subject Research Methods and Basic Statistics as prescribed by Osmania University and other universities of Telangana. We will go through the important questions and answers one by one. Let's begin with a quick revision. Unit 1 first important short question is: define educational research. Educational research. Educational research means a systematic study of education-related problems to find better solutions for teaching, learning, and administration. In simple words, it is research that helps improve the process of education. It uses scientific methods like observation, surveys, experiments, and statistical analysis to collect and interpret data. The main aim is to improve students' learning, teachers' performance, curriculum design, and educational policies. Example: suppose a teacher wants to know whether smart class teaching is more effective than traditional chalkboard teaching. By conducting research, collecting test scores, and analyzing results, the teacher can find which method works better. Importance of educational research: 1. Helps in solving classroom problems. 2. Improves teaching methods and learning outcomes. 3. Provides facts for educational policy making. 4. Encourages innovation in schools and colleges. Easy to remember tip 3I formula. Identify problems in education. Investigate using research methods. Improve the education system. Next important short question is: 2. Mention 2 types of educational research. 2 types of educational research. Educational research can be done in many ways, but 2 important types are: 1. Qualitative research. This research studies education in a descriptive and detailed way. It focuses on opinions, experiences, and behaviors instead of numbers. Methods include interviews, observations, and case studies. Example: a researcher observing how students behave in group activities to understand teamwork skills. 2. Quantitative research. This research deals with numbers, measurements, and statistics. It collects data in numerical form and uses analysis to find results. Example: a teacher comparing exam scores of students taught with online classes versus classroom teaching. Easy to remember tip Q2 formula. Qualitative is equal to quality of experiences. Quantitative is equal to quantity with numbers. Conclusion: both types are important. Qualitative explains why and how learning happens, while quantitative shows how much improvement takes place. Together, they make educational research complete and reliable. Next important short question is: 3. What is action research? Action research. Action research is a type of research done by teachers, principals, or educators to solve practical problems in their own classroom or school. It is called action research because the teacher takes action immediately after finding the problem. It is not done to develop big theories, but to improve day-to-day teaching and learning. It follows a cycle of identify, plan, act, reflect. Example: a teacher notices that students are not participating in class. She tries a new teaching method, like group discussion, observes the results, and modifies her strategy. This is action research. Features of action research: 1. Done on a small scale, like one class or school. 2. Solves immediate problems. 3. Helps teachers improve their own practice. Easy to remember formula PRA. Problem identified. Research in classroom. Action taken. Next important short question is: 4. What is meant by review of related literature? Review of related literature. Review of related literature, RRL, means studying the previous research, books, articles, and reports related to the topic a researcher wants to study. In simple words, it is like reading what others have already discovered before starting your own research. The main purpose is to understand existing knowledge, find gaps, and avoid repeating old work. It also helps the researcher plan a better study with a clear direction. Example, if a researcher wants to study the effect of online learning on students, he will first read earlier studies on digital classrooms, e-learning tools, and student performance. This gives him ideas and avoids mistakes. Importance of RRL. 1. Provides background knowledge. 2. Shows gaps for new research. 3. Saves time and avoids duplication. 4. Builds a strong foundation for the study. Easy to remember tip 3K rule. Know what is done. Know what is missing. Know how to improve. Next important short question is 5. List any 2 sources of research problems. Sources of research problems. A research problem is the starting point of any study. It is the question or issue that a researcher wants to investigate. There are many sources of research problems, but 2 important ones are 1. Classroom experiences. Teachers often face problems in their daily teaching. These experiences can become research problems. Example, a teacher notices that students are weak in math problem solving. She may take this as a research problem and study which teaching method improves math skills better. 2. Review of related literature. By reading earlier research, books, and articles, a researcher can find gaps or unanswered questions. These gaps suggest new problems for study. Example, if past studies show online learning improves exam scores but do not explain its effect on creativity, this can be taken as a research problem. Easy to remember formula CR. Classroom experiences. Review of literature. Next Unit 1. Long questions. First important long question is: explain the types of educational research with suitable examples. Types of educational research. Educational research can be broadly divided into 2 main types: qualitative research and quantitative research. Both are important for understanding and improving the education system. 1. Qualitative research. This research focuses on describing and understanding educational phenomena. It deals with opinions, experiences, attitudes, and behaviors rather than numbers. Qualitative research is often exploratory, helping researchers gain deeper insights. Methods: interviews, observations, case studies, content analysis. Example: a researcher observes how students interact in group discussions to understand teamwork and communication skills. Here, the data collected is descriptive, not numeric. Key point: it answers why and how questions. 2. Quantitative research. This research focuses on numerical data and statistical analysis. It measures variables and tests hypotheses using numbers, charts, and graphs. Quantitative research is usually confirmatory. Methods: surveys, experiments, standardized tests, statistical analysis. Example: a teacher wants to compare the effectiveness of online learning versus classroom teaching. She collects exam scores from both groups and analyzes the results using statistics. Key point: it answers how much or how many questions. Other related types: combination applied research. 1. Action research, conducted by teachers to solve immediate classroom problems. Example, a teacher trying a new teaching method to increase participation. 2. Fundamental, basic, research aims to create new knowledge without immediate practical use. Example, studying how memory develops in children. Easy to remember tip QQA formula. Q1 qualitative is equal to quality descriptive. Q2 quantitative is equal to quantity numbers. A action applied is equal to improve practice. Conclusion. Qualitative research helps understand attitudes, behaviors, and experiences, while quantitative research measures performance, scores, and statistics. Together, they provide a complete picture of education. Action and applied research make learning more effective in real-life classrooms. Tip for exams: always link each type with a simple example, as it makes your answer interesting and memorable. Next important long question is: 2. Discuss the concept, types, and process of conducting action research. Action research, concept, types, and process. Concept of action research. Action research is a type of research conducted by teachers, educators, or school administrators to solve practical problems in their own classrooms or schools. It focuses on improving teaching, learning, and school practices rather than developing general theories. The key idea is identify, act, observe, reflect, meaning researchers take action based on findings and continuously improve. Example, a teacher notices that students are not participating in class discussions. She tries group activities, observes the results, and adjusts her teaching method to increase engagement. Types of action research. 1. Classroom-based action research, focused on solving problems in a single classroom. Example, improving reading skills in grade 5 students. 2. School-based action research, focused on problems affecting the entire school. Example, reducing absenteeism across multiple classes. 3. Collaborative action research, conducted by a team of teachers or schools. Example, teachers working together to develop a new teaching method for science labs. Process of conducting action research. Action research follows a cyclical process. 1. Identify the problem, observe and recognize a practical issue. Example, students struggling with math problem solving. 2. Plan, decide how to address the problem and select methods. Example, introducing visual learning aids. 3. Act, implement, put the plan into practice in the classroom. Example, using charts and videos in lessons. 4. Observe, collect data on student performance and reactions. Example, record scores and participation levels. 5. Reflect, analyze results, evaluate the success of the action, and make improvements. Example, adjust teaching techniques based on what worked best. Easy to remember tip IPARO formula. I. Identify problem. P. Plan solution. A. Act, implement. R. Record, observe results. O. Observe and reflect. Conclusion. Action research is practical, small-scale, and directly improves education. It allows teachers to learn from experience, make informed decisions, and enhance student learning in a continuous, systematic way. Next important long question is: 3. Describe the purpose and process of reviewing related research literature using database search. Reviewing related research literature, purpose and process. Purpose of reviewing related research literature, RRL. Reviewing related literature means studying previous research, articles, books, and reports that are related to your research topic. The main purpose is to: 1. Understand what is already known about the topic. 2. Identify gaps in existing research. 3. Avoid duplication of work. 4. Provide a strong foundation for your study. 5. Help in designing research methods and formulating hypotheses. Example: if a researcher wants to study the effect of digital learning on student performance, reviewing past studies will show what has been done, what methods were used, and what gaps exist. Example: effects on creativity may not have been studied. Process of reviewing literature using database search. Database search helps find research papers, journals, and articles quickly. The process includes: 1. Identify keywords. List main terms related to the research topic. Example: digital learning, student performance, online education. 2. Select databases. Use trusted databases like Google Scholar, ERIC, JSTOR, ResearchGate. 3. Search for literature. Enter keywords. Use filters: year, language, type of study. 4. Read and evaluate. Check the relevance, reliability, and findings of the articles. 5. Organize information. Summarize key points, methods, and results in notes. 6. Identify gaps. Look for unanswered questions or areas needing further study. 7. Cite properly. Maintain references for all sources to avoid plagiarism. Easy to remember tip: NSORG formula. K. Keywords. S. Search databases. E. Evaluate relevance. O. Organize notes. R. Recognize gaps. G. Give proper citation. Conclusion. Reviewing related literature using database search saves time, provides credible sources, and helps plan better research. It ensures the study is well-informed, original, and academically strong, making it easier to achieve meaningful results. Next important long question is: 4. What are the types of experimental research? Discuss the concept of validity in experimental design. Types of experimental research and concept of validity. Concept of experimental research. Experimental research is a type of research where the researcher manipulates one variable, independent variable, to observe its effect on another variable, dependent variable. It is used to find cause and effect relationships. Example: a teacher wants to know if using visual aids, independent variable, improves students' test scores, dependent variable. She conducts an experiment with two groups, one with visual aids and one without, and compares results. Types of experimental research. 1. True experimental research. Features random assignment of participants to control and experimental groups. High control over variables ensures reliable results. Example: two groups of students are randomly assigned. One receives online learning, the other traditional classroom teaching. 2. Quasi-experimental research. No random assignment, groups are pre-existing. Used when randomization is difficult. Example: comparing to existing classes where one uses project-based learning and the other uses lectures. 3. Field experimental research. Conducted in a natural setting rather than a lab. Example: studying how classroom lighting affects students' concentration in a real school environment. Concept of validity in experimental design. Validity refers to how accurately the experiment measures what it is intended to measure. High validity ensures trustworthy results. Types of validity. 1. Internal validity ensures that the observed effect is truly due to the independent variable and not other factors. 2. External validity ensures that the results can be generalized to other settings, groups, or situations. Example: if a study shows visual aids improve learning only in one class, external validity is low because it may not apply to other classes or schools. Easy to remember tip TEF plus 4 EV. T true experimental. E experimental cause effect. F field quasi experiment. 4 internal validity. EV external validity. Conclusion. Experimental research is crucial for understanding cause and effect in education. Choosing the right type and ensuring validity helps researchers get accurate and generalizable results, which can improve teaching methods and learning outcomes. Next important long question is 5. How do you identify and select a research problem in education? Explain with examples. Identifying and selecting a research problem in education. A research problem is the starting point of any study. It is a question, issue, or area in education that needs investigation. Selecting the right problem is very important because it determines the success and usefulness of the research. Steps to identify a research problem. 1. Observe classroom or school issues. Teachers can notice problems in teaching, learning, or student behavior. Example, a teacher observes that students struggle with solving math word problems. This can be a research problem. 2. Review of related literature. Reading previous studies, journals, books, and reports helps find gaps or unexplored areas. Example, studies on online learning may focus on test scores but ignore creativity development. A new research problem can be effect of online learning on student creativity. 3. Personal interests and experiences. Research is easier and more engaging if the topic matches the researcher's interest or experience. Example, a teacher interested in reading habits may study the impact of storybooks on students' comprehension. 4. Social and educational needs. Problems arising from changes in society, curriculum, or education policy can be researched. Example, with the rise of digital classrooms, a problem can be, do digital classrooms improve engagement in rural schools? Criteria for selecting a research problem. 1. Significance, it should contribute to improving education. 2. Feasibility, must be possible with available time, resources, and skills. 3. Clarity, the problem should be clear and specific. 4. Interest, the researcher should be motivated to study it. Easy to remember tip ORPS formula. O. Observe classroom or school problems. R. Review literature. P. Personal interest and experience. S. Social and educational needs. Conclusion. Identifying and selecting a research problem involves observing real-life issues, studying previous research, considering personal interest, and analyzing societal needs. A well-chosen problem leads to meaningful research that can improve teaching, learning, and educational practices.